We were talking about the Avenue magazine top, I guess, all community list rankings for Calgary for 2020. Now, I want to walk you through these lists, kind of where does your community rank? So if you live in Calgary, they only do it for Calgary. So if you're in Airdrie, those communities, they're not a part of this list. But if you are in Calgary, your community is ranked on this list. What do you think of this list? Tell us in the comments as we go through this. I'm going to actually work through the list itself and kind of show you. I can't go through all 186 or 89 or whatever it is, but what we can do is we're going to walk through the first few. Put your comments in here. I want you to answer the question. What do you think of this list? What do you think of this process? And where did your community land on this list? And why do you think your community should be higher or maybe lower? I don't know. Actually, if you think your community should be lower in the list, I want to know why. But here we go. Let's dive in and take a look at the top list. So this is the Calgary's Best Neighborhoods 2020, the full list. All right. So I will actually post this link right in here in the comments. That way you guys can see for yourself. See the full list here. There you go. So this is the full list on Avenues magazine. And again, make your comments, say hi, say where you're at, where you're from, where you're watching from, and why do you think this 185 Calgary community list is good or it's bad? So let's dive in. The top communities. There's a whole methodology they go through this, but the top communities this year, I guess the top 10, is Brentwood, Varsity, Crescent Heights, Sunnyside, Bridgeland / Riverside, Dalhousie, Hillhurst, Bowness, Acadia, and Edgemont. Now, what do you see in this list? What do you see in this trend? I'm seeing a lot of north. I'm seeing a lot of northwest. The only ones that I see that are not in the northwest. I mean, Bridgeland technically is northeast because it's just on the other side of Center Street. But Acadia, that's it. The top 10 list only has one south community. Why? Why do they have that? I want to hear your thoughts. Put your comments in. Tell us why you think there is only one south community in the top 10 list here. Let's continue on. Number 11 is Huntington Hills, Inglewood, Lake Bonavista, Riverbend, Altadore, Dover, Eau Claire, Signal Hill, Thorncliffe, Mount Pleasant, Montgomery, and Arbor Lake. So these are your all the way up to the top 22 communities in Calgary. It's an interesting list. It's a diverse list. It's not what I would expect. The methodology that Avenue Calgary has used and how they determine is really based on a lot of different characteristics, different things. So they're using the neighborhoods defined by the city of Calgary. They're basing their scores, and I think it's the weight of importance. I think you can see my screen there. But the weight of importance, which right at the bottom. So 216 points, I guess, is for parks. The next one is pathways. This is parks access. We consider the size of parks, number of small green spaces. City does not provide size data on these things, but they're coming from the City of Calgary Parks. That's the next thing. The next thing has a walk score. So a walk score is something, how walkable is your community? Are you able to walk everywhere? How far can you walk? What kind of amenities can you get? That kind of thing. Another thing is the grocery stores, supermarkets, food markets, and whatnot. Engagement score, transit, recreation, has lots of trees, restaurants and cafes. And the last one down there is crime. And so that is how they rank these communities. And I'm a little bit surprised by some of these. I would think communities like, oh man, what are some, like when you get further down, it is quite surprising how many different communities are in here. So like Banff Hill, Capitol Hill, Banff Trail, pretty walkable areas. I'm trying to just think through some of this, like Killarney, Glengarry, very walkable, but it's down in the 50s. It's below Whitehorn. Whitehorn is a walkable community. Whether you live in the northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, it's super interesting. some of the stuff like Sundance, like a lot of these lake communities. Why are these lake communities not higher up? So for example, I did see like Arbor Lake is the only lake community in the Northwest. But Lake Bonavista, I think that's the highest lake community. And let's be honest, Lake Bonavista is a fantastic community. But where do you see your community on here? I know there's a bunch of you watching. Comment. Where do you see it on here? Why do you think your community is ranked where it is? And why do you think it should be ranked higher? Let's go down into the like lower end here, like Aspen Woods. There's New Brighton. Let me see. Like some of those, I guess, newer lake communities don't have as much walkability, and the parks are newer. Some of that might come into it. Upper Mount Royal. It is an expensive community, but very walkable. Like a very walkable, beautiful parks, really established, all that kind of stuff. Same with West Hillhurst. See, what I find kind of funny too is if you go to this page, when you go to their first page, where is that thing that I saw here? Sorry, this is all live and I'm just flipping around. The area that has it all. This one is what I found interesting. So Crescent Heights, Sunnyside, and Hillhurst all scored highly in the neighborhoods, but here's what makes those neighborhoods great. They are saying that these three communities are the ones that that basically have everything. I'm trying to look for some better stuff here, but community highlights, Sunnyside. I mean, they got the curling club. Hillhurst. I guess the only thing going for Hillhurst is Crave Cupcakes. I mean, I'm not complaining, but do you think that's the only thing going for Hillhurst? I don't think so, but it's a good picture. There's a lot of good shops. I mean, they go into it, but when they actually talk about it, like Hillhurst, like where was that? We were just looking at it. Like Hillhurst, West Hillhurst, those are great communities when we're looking at it. I mean, Falcon Ridge, Millrise, Hawkwood. Hawkwood is a really good community in the Northwest. Evanston, 110. So like our 100th community is Evergreen. Royal Oak, Shaganappi. I mean, there's so many communities in here. But I guess my biggest thing is, do you agree with the list? What do you think? I want to hear your comments. We want to tell me why you think your community is where it is and why it should be higher. That's what we want to hear. So in the comments, as we're talking, as we're rewatching this video, as you see this video, tell us, once you've looked at the list, come back and tell us where your community ranks and why it should be ranked higher. Maybe we can change the list next year. Maybe the methodology. Who knows? But tell us why you think your community is where it is. Why do you love your community? Maybe why you don't love your community. I don't know. But in the comments, let's hear from you. I want to hear from you guys. So that's what we have today. There's the list. Any comments, questions about anything else, just reach out. But we want to have some fun today and go take a look at that list. And let's hear your thoughts, why you love your community, your thoughts about this process. Let's share, let's comment, let's converse. We'll see you guys soon.